Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos, where we can share with you some of those pictures that were sent in to us on our portal. Let's begin with this one from Asokoro area in Abuja. It shows a vehicle on fire and firefighters trying to put it out. Our eyewitness reporter says he's unaware of the cause of the incident, but praised the prompt response of the fire service and its efforts to put out the fire. Our next photo comes from a local council area in Osun State. It shows this dilapidated secondary school building. Our eyewitness reporter wants the state authorities to help give the school a facelift. And we received this photo showing refuse being dumped along the roadside in the Karu district in Abuja. Our eyewitness reporter is calling on relevant authorities to clean up the area. And finally, we received this photo from Ibafo area in Ogun State. It shows this bent electricity pole hanging dangerously. Our eyewitness reporter wants the Power Holding Company of Nigeria to prevent an accident from occurring. Well, thanks a lot for sending in all your pictures, and remember that you can always send in pictures of what's happening around you to us. Now, contractors handling federal government projects across the country have been given the assurance by the Minister of Power, Works and Housing that they will be paid to enable them return to work next year. Mr. Pt.2 Fashola made the promise at a media conference in Abuja, where he unveiled his blueprint for handling issues in his ministry. The minister also said he's determined to implement an effective market tariff system for the power sector.
For emphasis and clarity, let me also say that the previous administration had actually approved the tariff in January 2015, but what they did was not to fully implement it. The implementation was suspended at the onset of elections, and after elections, the operators are now asking government to implement and pay for what they had produced. And I think that the outages we saw just before, during and around the election, was that the gas companies were not being paid. And at the onset of this new administration, the first stock of debts was paid, and that's why power went up. And our arrears again has built up. And this is why some of the outages are being experienced now again, because there are financing issues again. So what we expect to do is to liquidate the verifiable and agreed debts that have accrued, and to approve a market tariff. For us, the surest way not to have power is to oppose the implementation of the tariff order. Without a tariff system, there will be no power. As at May 2015, many contractors have stopped work because of payment. And so many families, fathers, husbands, wives have just had to be laid off. So for us, our ability to achieve connectivity of road depends on capital spending in 2016 to pay contractors and to get them back to work.
Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Pt.2 Fashola. The Lagos State government has launched an online platform which includes all laws made in the state since 1965. Governor Akinwumi Ambode commissioned the project today at a short ceremony witnessed by stakeholders in the executive, legislative and judicial arms of the state government. The laws are now readily available for purchase and can also be downloaded. Our judiciary correspondent Shola Shoyele reports.
The Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Akinwumi Ambode, the Deputy Governor, Dr. Idiat Adebule, the Chief Judge of the State, Honorable Justice Olufumlayo Atilade, the Chairman of the State's House of Assembly Committee on Judiciary, Honorable Fumilayo Tejosho, other members of the three arms of the state government, retired judges, legal practitioners and other stakeholders in the justice sector of the state converged on the Adeyemi Burial Hall within the premises of the government house in the Alausa area of Ikeja. The state government had inaugurated a law reform commission in 2012. The body had reviewed the existing laws in the state, an exercise which was last done in 2003. After this, it reviewed the obsolete laws, compiled over 100 laws which were in gazettes, and undertook an extensive reform of all the existing laws, amending archaic and colloquial words and replacing gender-specific pronouns with gender-neutral language.
Words like therewith, therein, herewith, hereto, hereinafter, and words of like nature have been simplified. Obsolete references to military, colonial, imperial, or legal orders, offices, or institutions have also been substituted with contemporary offices and institutions.
The new laws of the state are no longer in loose forms. They've been put into book form and published by multinational mass media and information firm Thomson Reuters.
We really believe that our role is to support government to help empower the citizens and to help empower the free flow of information and rule of law, access to justice.
The book is presented to the governor, who officially launches the laws.
The state government has resolved to also make the laws of Lagos State available online and accessible from any part of the world. This will further fulfill the obligation of the Lagos State government to create easy access to the laws of Lagos, thereby promoting a platform for accountability and responsibility. More importantly, creating an online access to the laws of Lagos State will be of great service and benefit to investors and will-be investors in the state.
The governor wants citizens of the state, and indeed everyone, to access the laws, know the legal protection it offers, and make informed decisions. Shola Shoyeli for Channels Television News.
Well, let's take the conversation further now, and joining me is the Attorney General of Lagos State and Commissioner for Justice, Mr. Adeniji Kazeem. Thanks a lot for joining us on the News at 10 tonight.
Good evening, Joma.
Well, we heard you there talk about changing the wordings to more contemporary terms, but just shed more light on the project for us in terms of the benefits to Lagosians.
Well, first of all, I'll say this is just another step in the progressive march of Lagos State. Since in the last 20 years, Lagos State has compiled new laws 3 times. In 1994, in 2003, and again now in 2015. So this is a major landmark event for this governor. Now what we have done is that between 2003, when the last laws were compiled, we have made sure that all the laws that were passed in between 2003 and 2015, we have tried to put them together in a compiled form. Now, just as the governor mentioned, this is going to help Lagos a lot. Because as you know, the governor has been on the road promoting Lagos as a destination, a favored destination for foreign investment. We feel that if a lot of the foreign investors are able to access these laws online, they can make informed decisions about investing in Lagos. You know, what we want is to attract as much FDI as possible. Right now, Lagos is the most favored destination. Probably 99% of FDI comes to Nigeria. But we feel that we can push it further. And I think this step in putting it online, where your laws can be downloaded by anybody in the world, anywhere, is a landmark event anywhere.
What about those who say that wording and phrasing is not our problem? There's no shortage of what the law should be. But the issue we have in Lagos is enforcement. The case in point is, the prohibition of movement of heavy-duty trucks. They're still moving. Is there anything in this new package to do with enforcement of the laws and keep making sure that what is written as law is kept?
Well, good point. I mean, you mentioned that we've had some changes into the laws as they were being compiled, but a lot of the laws are in essence the same. And as you rightly also pointed out, the major problem is enforcement. Now we're trying to deal with that area. On my own end, the Special Offences Tribunal courts, we deal a lot with the offenders, traffic offenders, environmental offenders, which create a lot of the problems for us, are being strengthened. More prosecutors are being drafted, more magistrates are being drafted. So you can send the message to the offenders that, look, if you commit a crime, you're going to get tried and probably sent to jail. Also, in addition, we plan to introduce very soon mobile courts, which is also going to aid speedy dispensation
Yeah,
of
we've heard a
justice.
lot about the plan for mobile courts. Is there any time frame when we're going to see that happen? Because a lot of Nigerians see these laws and we're looking at what affects people daily. The congestion in Lagos, the traffic in Lagos is something that everybody's worried about. So do you have a time frame for that in this new arrangement?
We are targeting at least before Christmas, if we can get it going. And I'm driving that process, and we're committed to getting that done. Now, that's not going to be the silver bullet. There are other things that we still need to do, but it's just one more step. We feel that, look, in addressing some of these problems, we have to be dynamic. When we find the problem, we try and create solutions to deal with it. We feel the mobile courts were already part of the law, but we're just igniting it further in order to address this problem that we're facing.
Okay, now let's talk about the launch of equipment, the helicopters and other gadgets that we saw lately to deal with some of the robberies and other crimes that we've seen in the state. How's that going?
Well, it's going very well. As you can see, clearly this is a different style. The vehicles that have been provided are not your normal pickup trucks. They're sedans, where the policemen can go around in pairs, and they have at least vehicles that can move pretty fast. There have been the helicopters.
Have they started flying?
Yes, they have. They have started flying. The boats have been transferred to the Marine Police, and as you can see, the cars are fully deployed everywhere. So that's going pretty well.
Thank you so much, Attorney General for Lagos State and Commissioner for Justice, for joining us on the News at 10 tonight.
Thank you.
And when the News at 10 returns, First Bank holds its third CIBN valedictory lecture. Do join us again.